So, good day, everyone. We're here for another episode of the DVD show. So, for today, we have a former Ateneo Lady Eagle, and she was a utility spiker, libero. Lahat na ng posisyon yata nalaro niya sa Ateneo, and she's a three-time champion in the UAAP, and she also played for Chocomucho in the PVL a few years back. So, I'll now welcome here on the DVD show Kim Gequillana. Thank you for joining me here on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Diego. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yes, yes. To start things off, syempre, alam na ng mga tao na, yeah, you decided to retire from volleyball to focus on like postgraduate studies. And yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask, how's that been going for you since people might not have been updated because they don't see you already like in front of the camera playing.
Yeah. No, actually, whenever I post stuff or like repost stuff from like previous years when I was like back in Chocomucho or in Ateneo, people are asking me, "Oh, naglalaro ka po ba? Nagmo-volleyball ka po
Yeah.
ba?" Because I think they're probably wondering why they don't see me now. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I've been in school. It's actually my first sem because retired in 2022, but then I started school mga September. So I had like a vacation
Mm-hmm.
time. And then last week lang kakatapos ng finals namin with school and I've been really busy and maybe that's why I've also been MIA with the world and with the updates and all. So yeah, it's been challenging but rewarding at the same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since you're taking up fashion, are there like a lot of people, like you have classmates na madami or konti lang kayo, so it's like a smaller classroom, like mas focus
Yeah.
sa professor. How does that work?
Uh, Um actually I'm studying in SOFA and small school lang siya, but then it's really specific towards like arts. There's like interior, mga makeup classes, and of
Mm-hmm.
course like fashion, where they're kind of really known at. Tapos, yung classmates ko, it's kind of a mix kasi small school nga lang kami. So there are people who are studying college pa lang, who are still in like first year
Mm-hmm.
college, but then there are also people who are studying as postgraduates like me. So, different siya. May mga young ones, may mga ka-age like me. So, it's a different experience. Yeah.
Yeah. But like you with your interest or passion and like fashion, since people would think now volleyball, like pag athlete yun yung main, but then you also have like a passion for fashion. Like did that start like before pa or did it develop in your teenage years? Like where did that come from?
Um, Good question. I think matagal na. When I was like very young pa lang, like I was very interested in like fashion, especially alam mo yung pag nung bata ka and then like you go to like yung mga sastre kasi for like a wedding and all, it would
Mm-hmm.
really excite me in a way na parang ginagaya ko yung ginagawa nila, something like that. So
Yeah.
at first it was just like for fun, and then
Mm-hmm.
um when I was still playing volleyball, one of my stress reliever yun, na parang whenever I feel kind of down or like stressed, I let it out through like drawing. And then, hindi naman ako marunong mag-drawing, but then I know how to draw dresses. So, ganon. Like,
Oh.
I've developed it. Dresses lang
Yeah.
talaga ako marunong mag-draw. And I think na-realize ko na that was one of the careers I wanted to like pursue no during the pandemic, na parang there's like
Mm.
so much time to like think about stuff, and I was like, oh, like parang parang I don't know, parang may spark lang na nagsabi na, oh,
Yeah.
go in this direction. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
was like, bro, I kept on like digging into it, the more
Mm-hmm.
interest I had. So, dun siya talaga nag-build, nag-start. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Pero since nga yung fashion, like I don't know, I don't think it's like a big thing here in the Philippines. So
Yeah.
when you thought na parang you wanted to try it as a career, did you have that feeling na baka mahirap dito sa Philippines or like when you were searching, yun nga, it's like a small school lang or maybe not a lot of people will offer it. Like, what was the mindset before you actually like decided na you'll just try it out and let's see where it goes?
Kasi when you say fashion, super ang daming categories to fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi there's like fashion styling, fashion designing, like there's streetwear, there's like mga wedding stuff. So I'm more
Mm-hmm.
towards like the wedding stuff. Kasi, diba,
Yeah.
there are people who also um parang with fashion they associate it with like streetwear and like
Yeah.
really paporma. And ako parang I can say I'm really basic. Like when I dress up, medyo
Yeah.
basic ako, but then I really have a passion for like drawing like yung sa weddings, yung mga
Mm-hmm.
gowns and stuff. And yun nga, I was like thinking about it long term kasi yung plan ko talaga, yung real goal ko is to study abroad. But then I was like, oh, parang wala pa akong knowledge or like core understanding of
Mm-hmm.
what fashion designing is. So parang ayoko naman na pupunta ako sa abroad na wala akong baon of knowledge. So I wanted to like start here first and like um, spark my skills and like improve them before I actually try to study and work abroad and like get experience and then come back. Parang ganun. So like
Mm,
that's the
okay.
plan.
Okay. How many years like here? Like 2 years, ganun. Tapos you go
Yeah, I
abroad, ganun.
applied for the 2-year program. Pero we'll see. Kasi medyo like I feel like I'm getting old. I mean like
Mm.
gusto ko na parang agad-agad na like I think gusto ko lang matansya muna if like kaya ko na to go abroad or not. But yeah. So right
Oh,
now, like I'm finishing 1 year first, but then 2-year program yung ina-apply for the school.
yeah. What countries are like known for like fashion and the like wedding facet of it? Like
There's
what?
Europe, London, New York, but I kind
Yeah.
of I'm eyeing on New York, like
Oh, okay.
Parsons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Parsons. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know that they have also like that, but that's interesting. That's why I
yeah.
will ask you about it
These are
because
just
like for
like
me,
goals. These are just like
yeah,
wala pa siya, hindi pa siya tangible. It's like I'm
yeah.
working towards that goal pa lang. So wait.
Yeah, but that's good. Like people like manifesting their goals and proper like
Yeah.
execution and manifestation, like a combination of both. So malay mo mangyari talaga yun. Pero you mentioned din na you thought about it or like you were more serious about it nung pandemic. So like pre-pandemic, you were planning to really like play volleyball muna or do something
Yeah.
else also.
I think kasi I don't know, like very ambitious talaga ako. Other than volleyball, I was also thinking of like being a preschool teacher, ganon.
Mm-hmm.
Um so when I graduated college, I did like I really wanted to play as like a pro first kasi that's also one of my goals. And yun, parang once I reached that na, parang I felt fulfilled in a way. Sabi ko na, oh, I think it's time. Kasi, I think there's so much more out there for me rin. And parang I need time to like mold myself in that career.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I'm like all or nothing kind of a person. So
Mm-hmm.
kapag hindi ako marunong mag-juggle with two things kasi I give my all in one. So feeling ko parang if I do both, parang hindi ko ma-give yung 100% ko in one. So sayang na naman. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true though because feeling ko din kung ako mahirapan din like kaya gusto ko parang
Yeah.
decisive like sa decisions and like what you really want to happen even if yun nga hindi pa nangyayari. I mean, at least nasa tamang like mentality ka or like path toward it.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about that, like normally, but if you have that passion to go to like something in the fashion industry, like what's your ano ba, and undergraduate, like where did you what's your course in Ateneo? Because well, yeah, what if people are
Okay.
interested to also same follow you the same path?
Actually, like I said, I'm very ambitious. So um, I took up psychology, and then I also minored in education.
Oh, okay.
So there was a time, yeah, there was a time during the lockdown na parang I was teaching online as a preschool
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
ganon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So during the lockdown lang kasi I had time, but then um I ended it when we had to go back to like we had like a bubble setup, so I couldn't really
Oh,
like
yeah.
because we train 3 times a day, so I can't really find time to do both.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned rin nga na volleyball's like your passion and you wanted to turn pro. And ironically, you actually also announced your retirement on a podcast in Globally Ballin, I think with Denise Dinsay, right? That's where people when I read the articles, that's where they saw you announce it. So how was the decision making process? Kasi people were saying nga na may potential ka pa, may upside ka pa to play and 23 ka pa lang. So people could say that you could do the fashion at a older age kasi you're still at your peak years and nagagamit ka pa in Choco Mucho. Like, yeah, how was that like? And why in a podcast? I mean, that's so cool also. I mean, it's not the traditional way to also express your like feelings on
Yeah.
something.
Actually, I think I was like, wait, was it 25? Kailan ba? I was 25. Pero in the article it said 23.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Um uh feeling ko for people it was like very sudden. But with my teammates, feeling ko gulat yun sila. But I've subtly like talked to them about it. Like I was sharing my passion for fashion school, ganon. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking about it a lot with sila Bea and Ponggay kasi there was a
Yeah.
time na we would train together during the lockdown. And then I would just
Mm-hmm.
parang nag-open up ako about that particular part of my life. And also Maddie and sila. Kasi me and Maddie were roommates. But then
Mm-hmm.
they knew na I was like headed towards that path. But I think di nila na-expect na it was like that sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was kind of parang struggling kasi I felt na, yun nga, na parang I was kind of too young to retire
Mm-hmm.
with the pros. But then I also felt na it was getting too late to study something new. So it was like now or
Mm-hmm.
it was like now or never time. Parang as in sobrang nag-boom yung passion ko for this. And wala,
Mm-hmm.
parang feeling ko ang dami na rin kasi rising volleyball stars like in this
Yeah.
generation. As in sobrang gagaling na nila. And then wala, feeling ko parang there could be parang I didn't want to steal that spot from them
Mm-hmm.
kasi I think I also had like my eyes for fashion school and I wanted someone who is like very passionate. Parang, how do I explain this? Okay, wait, from the start. Wait. kasi, kasi ano, like, nakikita ko talaga yung mga passion, ay yung sobrang passion ng mga teammates ko through volleyball. But then for me,
Yeah.
that's how I see like fashion school. So I was like kind of jealous of them of having that passion and drive. So I'm like, oh, I want to be passionate with what I do too. I mean, like I love volleyball, but then parang for some reason I felt fulfilled and achieved na parang I've already achieved my goals. Parang it was time for me to move to a different chapter of my life. So I wanted to pursue something else, and parang nasasayangan ako sa spot ko if I'm not that all in with the sport na parang
Mhm.
someone who is more passionate could step up in that role. Parang ganun. Ganun yung, wala. Ganun lang yung ano ko, naisip. Na someone
Yeah,
who
that
has like better, yung may hunger pa for the game. Parang
mhm.
sayang lang if ako na parang I'm just there. Ganon.
Yeah. That's that's hard to admit like as an athlete like nga na parang oh mas may magagaling or mas may passionate pa sa akin and I could like share it on another like field kasi 'di ba parang
Yeah.
that's how stubborn athletes are when they're sport especially like 'di ba in college you won championships pa you were a key cog ganun so it's really tough. Pero I guess because that's really like your passion is in fashion, like it's not a bad thing. At least you're passionate in something. Kaysa like wala, like people, diba,
Yeah.
they're like unsure of what to do. But at least,
Yeah.
yeah, you were honest with yourself, and it's beneficial for you right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to it, like you announced your retirement on a podcast. So like you told the team na earlier and like you decided to share it on a podcast. Kasi 'di ba usually yung mga nag-a-announce mga spin, ganun, tiebreaker times. Pero eto, sila nag-announce nung napakinggan nila yung podcast. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, why did you decide to go to that through that route? Because I like that sometimes better than para it's straight from you and your face is there, ganun.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, to clarify, I do love volleyball, but then for me, it was like there's so much more out there. Anyway, wala,
Yeah.
kasi sakto lang. Like, I was thinking about, like, it was towards the end of the year, and then I was like, kasi ang daming offerings na nangyayari. Parang ang dami kong iniisip na, oh, there's so much more to do. Like, ang dami kong plans in life at that time. And then sakto, Denise was like, oh, Kim, can you guest in my podcast, in my interview? And then I was like, oh, sakto, like, I'm like planning to retire, so why can't we just like collaborate in this? Parang ganon.
Yeah.
So I was just, oh my god, is it parang true ba? And
Mm.
then it's just like I didn't realize it was gonna blow up and wala.
Yeah.
Akala ko lang parang, hi world, I'm retiring. I didn't know
Yeah.
people were gonna make articles about it,
Mm.
So yeah, that's just how it happened. So yeah.
Yeah. How about you now? Since you're studying and like you're not like on cam when you're studying obviously and like it's like a regular student. So do
Yeah.
you enjoy the life of like being like that? Kasi syempre pag volleyball player ka lalo na you're in Ateneo then choco mucho like madaming fans. So do you enjoy like the life or do you see like a different perspective now na parang you're not like in the volleyball, 'di ba? Nagka-issue pa like with the fans and everything with them like enjoy mo ba ngayon na like you're studying and like mas relaxed ganun?
Yeah, I do enjoy it kasi parang I think nung college ako, I was deprived of being a student. I mean, I was still a student.
Mm.
Like, being a student athlete, the student comes first. But parang na-deprive ako sa mga orgs, mga other
Yeah.
curricular activities. So
Mm.
with this, parang na re-experience ko yung college life again. I was like a beetle
Mm.
in one class, ganon.
Yeah.
So it was like a
Mm.
nice, refreshing experience na
Mm.
ganito, na with this setup. And yeah, I do miss like being with my teammates a lot kasi palagi before palagi kami magkakasama, like we're just like in one area din. But then now it's just
Mhm.
like they're so far, so it's like and then they have like games. Oh, yeah. So they have like games, so I don't wanna like distract them or anything. So yeah, that's what I
Mm.
miss. My teammates.
Yeah, there's really pros and cons of like being like, yeah, choosing a different path from the people you're close to or comfortable with. But yeah, I wanted to also ask, like, since like, see Cha Cruz Behag, like she's back now, or like some people like Tindin Santiago Manabat, like they decided to come back after she gave birth, ganun. So is there any chance you're gonna go back like in the future, or wala na talaga?
Hmm. There are times that I would miss it. Na parang I'd be like, oh, I miss playing with them.
Mm.
But yeah, hindi ko alam. I don't think so yet.
Mm.
We'll cross the bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Like, what you think
Kasi
lang
for
naman now, like,
now,
not
feeling
committed
ko I'm
yet.
really
Parang ganun.
focused with my school.
Mm.
Now, hindi ko ba kaya. As in, I barely sleep sa school. With our finals week, I had like may isang time na I slept for like 3 hours in like 2 nights,
3 hours.
for 2 nights. So, hindi ko pa kaya ngayon. Maybe when I'm like more settled in or like
Mhm.
established, like
Mhm.
with my this career, we'll never know. Joke. I don't know yet. But for now, not no, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I was just interested on what your decision, what your comment would on that would be. But one final question before we move on to like your volleyball career is like, what's your opinion on like people pursuing like, yeah, a job that's not like traditional, like people know like doctor, lawyer, like how people like businessman, mga ganun, like the normal traditional jobs, and like people now, di ba, na using content creation, or
Oh yeah.
what other things that started in the pandemic, and then like now, like in the one you're doing, not everyone would be like, maybe yung parents sila hindi willing gawin yun, yung gawin ng anak nila kasi nga gusto ganito, gusto ganyan. Pero for you, how would you say, what's your comment on, yeah, people trying out like new jobs, or like what their passion is compared to like what's the traditional way lang, or this is where you'll earn the most money, ganon. Like, what's your comment?
I don't know. Go where your heart is and then put your mind into it, I guess. Na hindi
Mm-hmm.
lang, parang you have, if you want something, you need to be all in. Na parang hindi lang puro wishful thinking. Like, if this is your dream, parang your reality has to be like in harmony with what you want. Kasi you can't
Mm-hmm.
just be like, oh, I want to be like this and actually like do nothing. So it has to have like a balance. So I don't know, like, kasi for me, I'm just like, alam, wait, it's different for me. I'm more
Why?
risky. Like I'm risky, but then at the same time, like when I'm sure of something, I know like I would just really like grab it and like take all the opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
be there, like be on top, try to work through things. So it works for me, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
iba-iba talaga yung mga like, yeah, decision making ng mga tao. It's based on like their situation and the circumstances they're going through, I guess. So yeah, it's great that you
yeah.
gave them that piece of advice. But yeah, moving on to like the next part, I want to learn more about your journey in volleyball, and that's what I usually do with the guests then that I have here on the podcast. So I read like you grew up, if I'm right, you grew up in
Yeah.
Bacolod. So I wanted to ask like your childhood and upbringing, like when nga, was volleyball like the first activity or the first sport you fell in love with, or were you like into other things as a child? Like, how was your
Yeah.
childhood days in your childhood life like?
Yeah. I'm actually here in Bacolod right now. I'm home.
Oh, okay.
Um, but yeah. Um, Back when I was young, we were very like active in a sense na it wasn't all about volleyball just yet. Like we would have activities. Like I think obviously my first sport was like swimming because we all like for our family like we all had to like learn how to swim first.
Mhm.
So mga
Mhm.
swimming lessons. So yung parang hindi pa kami marunong and then we did swimming lessons and then we also competed eventually. But then
Mhm.
I didn't like it. Like I was scared. I was
Uh-huh.
scared because I was like alone. Parang
Mhm.
I was like 8 years old. So
Mhm.
yun na yun. So after we competed, we never did swimming again. But yeah, we did
Oh,
ano
okay.
rin, badminton. We used to play
Mhm.
badminton with our dad. And then ano pa? Ballet. Like we did
Puro
ballet.
sports din. Yeah.
Oo, into that. And then I got into volleyball because of school kasi yun yung parang sport. Like after school, parang all my friends were there and then I had sisters also. So we all played volleyball together after school. We joined the volleyball team. And then I enjoyed it a lot because it was like a team na oh,
No, it's
naririnig ba
okay.
yung screaming people?
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
um, I enjoyed it kasi madami kami. Like, it was fun kasi I had like my teammates, my friends with
Team
me.
sport.
It wasn't,
Yeah.
yeah. Kasi
Mm.
I think in swimming, it was hard for me because I was just like alone. Like, I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
alone. But then with
yeah.
volleyball, parang I enjoyed it. Plus perks of being tall. Like, here in Bacolod, I'm like considered to be tall. Like I used to be a middle hitter here, but then when I
Mm.
moved to college, naging libero na ako.
Yeah, yeah.
Ganun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you think saying that it's interesting that you said that you thrive in team sports more, and I've heard I forgot, but I've had like a couple of guests also na hindi daw sila ayaw na talaga nila ng yung individual sports, hindi daw sila tumagal nung bata kasi nga I
Yeah.
guess they get more motivated or they get inspired by their teammates or like coaches in like a team sport like basketball or volleyball or football. So for you, ganun din ba kaya feeling mo mas na you went to the through the volleyball path kasi nga you enjoyed being around people.
Yeah. It's really more on that because like my friends were part of the team, my sisters were also there, and
Mm.
parang wala, like we all I like the bond and the chemistry na we had and like we formed kasi we were young pa then before it was all about like having fun. So that's how it started and then it eventually became competitive as it reached like high school and college. So yeah.
Oh, okay. What age was that when you started playing volleyball or when you thought that you could maybe play like in a league like the UAAP? Kasi others would say na varsity lang, laro-laro, pero ikaw anong year yun na parang feeling mo, pwede naman pala maglaro sa Manila sa UAAP?
To be honest, I didn't think of it till like high school kasi when I was like I started volleyball mga grade 4 but then it was
Mhm.
really just like for fun like extracurricular activity pangpapawis
Mhm.
lang ganon like just
Yeah.
for like fun and
Mhm.
then I didn't think of it till like high school no are you familiar with like mga palaro ganon
Mm.
and
Palarong
then people
pambansa,
would
yeah.
people would
Yeah.
get recruited. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to be recruited, ganon. So
Yeah.
I kind of stayed consistent till my last year in high school. Kasi I was like, oh, baka there's like chance of me getting into UAAP. So
Mm.
that's how it started. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you played in Palaro, was that only in the fourth year now or earlier pa rin you would play? Pero fourth year ka parang nakarinig ng offers. Ganun.
I started grade 6 and then tuloy-tuloy na. First year, second year,
Mm.
third year, fourth year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then with the
Cause,
offers, like did Ateneo like start offering you on senior year and like the other schools din. Ganun, paano ba yung like recruiting ng time na yun?
um, I don't I don't clearly remember, but I remember kasi nung second year ako, or was it first year? First year pala. Sila Beatan, are
Mm.
you, Beatan, Beatan got
Mm-hmm.
recruited sa Ateneo. So I was like, oh, parang that's like, that started it all. And then, because my mom was also from Ateneo, but like as a student. But she
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
joined like
Mm-hmm.
swimming as a varsity.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and like she really pushed me to, work hard and try to get a scholarship in Ateneo. So yun. And then the following year, or was it, oh, my, on my third year, Giselle Tan naman, the sister,
Mm.
got recruited. So yun. I think that's how it kind of went. Na parang, oh, si Bea, and then parang parinig-rinig na lang, oh, there's a nice player here sa Western Visayas, and you might be
Mm.
interested. So yeah, that's how it started.
So it was only Ateneo for you. Like there were no other people, our schools
I
that
think meron
scouted you.
naman. I
Oh.
think meron naman, but super close-minded na ako that time.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I really wanted to be an Ateneo. And Coach Roger would kind of visit us rin before,
Mm.
oh, before the palaro.
Mm.
Hello? Am I
Yeah,
there?
you're back. You're back. I can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Um, okay. So yun, like Coach Roger would visit us from time to time. So I was kind of set.
Oh, okay. So when you were set to go to Ateneo, wasn't it tough for you since like you chose to go to Ateneo and then you would adjust to like living in Manila plus Coach Roger was the one getting you. Wasn't it Coach Ty already like when you played in your rookie year? So parang double adjustment of the court on the court. Like how was that like
Yeah,
adjustment for you?
about that. Kasi, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so that year was kind of tough. That year was kind of tough kasi nga, like, at first it was Coach Roger, and then towards the end of the year, naging si Coach Ty na. So,
Mm-hmm.
not only the coach was like changed, pati na rin yung the whole program. And
Mm-hmm.
nung nag-a-adjust pa lang kami with how it is in college, like playing in college,
Mm-hmm.
nag-adjust ulit kami like with a different coach who's from Thailand. So it was
Mm-hmm.
hard because it was okay. It was my first time training around 5 a.m. because we usually train after school in high school.
Oh yeah.
So that was hard to adjust with. And then nung dumating na si Coach Tai, naging twice a day yung training namin. And then we had to like run every
Yeah.
morning. So I was like, oh. So it was a
Yeah.
huge adjustment for sure. It was a
Yeah,
tough
but
one,
what
but we all got through it.
yeah, what helped you get through it? I mean, it's not only on the field, but then pati yung like living your life like sanay ka na sa Bacolod, alam mo na siguro lahat ng kakainan doon, alam mo na
Yeah.
lahat ng surroundings. Tas dito sa Katipunan, iba yung iba yung like way of life or iba yung like nakasanayan mo. So, yeah, what helped you get through it? Was it like your teammates or your coaches or like your family din na tinatawagan mo siguro? Like how was that for you?
Yeah. I think it would be my teammates also, because I do enjoy having that bond. Now we have something similar to like share with, and then well, I just really enjoy having people like friends na who share the same experience as me, and I think it helped living in the dorm because it built like a community with us,
Mhm.
and and yeah, at first, honestly, I could say it was really hard the first year kasi I didn't know how to speak that much Tagalog. Like, hindi talaga ako
Oh.
marunong mag-Tagalog. And, like, I wasn't speaking English in high school. Like, my mother tongue talaga is Ilonggo. So it was hard for me to cope with talking to people.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it was hard. Like, I was just, like, so quiet. Opo, ganun na lang. Yeah, mm.
Yeah, but see, Coach Ty is also like that, right? Like, I mean, that's what we see
Oh,
on the
yeah.
TV, but then sometimes that's what happens also, like when you guys are working out, right?
Yeah, we end up like learning what he's trying to say and like
Mhm.
common language na lang namin yung volleyball. So it helped. It
Yeah,
worked out.
yeah. But yeah, preparing for that season 76, like your first year when you guys won the championship against LaSalle, right? When you guys won, like how was that like preparing for it? I mean, I know that people have they also shared their unique stories of Coach Tai, like quote unquote, like killing them in practice. But it's all worth it because you guys like yeah won like back to back both against LaSalle and syempre mas impressive yung you could say mas impressive yung sweep or mas impressive yung isa kasi thrice to beat. So how was those two seasons really like made an impact on like your life and how like it would be memorable to you like with the journey and everything.
With my first year, okay, I was still struggling. I had like the jitters pa, the rookie jitters, and like I wasn't used to the cameras. That was like one thing that I wasn't really used to. But grabe, super memorable and nakakaiyak talaga yung our first championship kasi we were like, yun nga, like we were considered like the underdogs and then people never really expected us to win. But then I think it was just like the grit that we had and you can tell naman kasi I was with like sila Ate Lai pa yung seniors ko,
Mm-hmm.
sila Ate. Then you could actually tell through their eyes na gusto talaga nila manalo. And then it also helped us. Parang they influenced us na parang, kumbaga, like they led us to be on top. So
Mm-hmm.
they did their role as seniors. Oops, sorry.
It's
Na
okay.
may nalaglag.
Yeah,
Na
yeah, yeah.
na yun, na parang they set like a good example and as role models to like, as in kapit, as in super, first time ko yun na parang I felt like the hunger and it was, how do you call it, contagious in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just like them, kahit we weren't really playing, we were like by the sideline, we felt everything. And of course, like, um, a lot of it was like, a lot of our output or like how we played was like set behind the scenes, like how we trained for it. So yeah,
Yeah, but like going up
it
against
was the
LaSalle in that
experience.
yeah, going up against LaSalle in that season 76, but they were like undefeated in the elimination round, and
Yeah.
you ended up beating them three times out of four games, I think, ng final. So yun ba lang yung grit na sinasabi mo or meron pang like madadagdag ka na why you think you guys went over the top? Because yeah, LaSalle was like resting for too long because you guys beat a lot of teams en route to the championship. They were like training, iba pa rin yung training sa games or yeah, baka meron kang mga share na feeling mo dahilan kung bakit you finally went over the top.
Feeling ko, Kasi before Lasal, before like going against Lasal, we had like a lot of do or die games. I think it was with NU also. So,
Yeah, and you. Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
like before going up against them, we were like, oh, this might be our last training, blah blah blah, and then laban na lang na laban. Like we're also proud of you. We're also proud of ourselves, kasi we didn't expect to like reach like top three, but then
Mm-hmm.
we're there, so why not like reach for more? So yung mindset namin was just like one game at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and well, when we had to beat NU, and then yun nga, we won twice, or I don't remember na.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah,
Twice
we
to
had
beat
to beat
kasi
them
sila eh.
twice. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then heading towards the championship rin, we were just like, oh, do or die, another do or die. So baka nasanay kasi kami sa do or die. Yun yung edge namin
Mm-hmm.
na we've learned how to deal with like do or die games.
Yeah, that's true. It's like an unquantifiable skill, I guess. Like you could just
Yeah.
say sanay, pero paano ipo-prove? Wala, basta pinaglaro. Yun na yun. Like it's hard to prove it. Pero yeah, I saw that also that season kasi I think that was like the second season I got into volleyball lang ever since like when I was a
Yeah.
teenager. So sabi ko, wow, kakaiba yung Ateneo nun. And yeah, new coach, like di kilala sa
Yeah.
Philippine soil. So yeah, it's a great achievement for you guys. Pero I wanted to ask, well, do you think that those two championships and like the success you achieve, like it helped you also become more of like a versatile player? Because like I mentioned, diba, in the intro na halos lahat ng position pwede mong laruin or nalaro mo sa Ateneo. So do you think that yun nga, yung winning also helps you accept those positions? Kasi syempre pag natatalo, diba, tapos paiba-iba pa ng position or like hindi ka na nasasanay, mas mahirap matanggap. So how was
Yeah.
that adjustment for you?
Um, oh, I mean, kasi for me, it was easy for me to accept roles like that. Kasi I always had the thinking na whichever role I am more helpful, or like kung saan ako mag-benefit sa team. So because I know it's like more of like a team effort, and then kahit like the smallest um task, I know it benefits the team. Like a little really goes a long way. So I just think kung ano, like example, like me as a service specialist, like I really took that
Mm-hmm.
at heart, and that was really like a scary job because
Mm-hmm.
he would put me in pag like 23, 24. So I just really had
Yeah.
to like let the ball in. So
Mm-hmm.
it was tough, but then I think you have to be consistent, Rin, and it's more like how you react to things, like how like
Mm-hmm.
is it gonna be like positive or negative. So I think my mindset was like to take things positively para maging um, substantial yung
Mm-hmm.
outcome, or like basta I just really wanted the team to win. So whatever I can do, I would do it for the team. So
Yeah. No, ever since ba ganun like yung mindset more kasi 'di ba nung may iba like pag high school nila, like sila yung star player ganun, sanay sila na they get
yeah.
a lot of the spikes the whole game. So ganun ka ba rin nung high school? So isn't it difficult rin to adjust to various roles in college or talagang ganun lang talaga yung mentality mo ever since you were younger na whatever role it is was that contributes to winning?
Well, in high school, I was more competitive, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Na I wanted to like shine nga kasi para people would see me and might recruit me for UAAP, ganon.
Mm-hmm.
But then in college, kasi like as a probinsyana, it was such a big dream not to reach UAAP, and then to be there at the moment. It's like where I wanted to be. So for me
Mm-hmm.
to do the smallest things is such a big deal now
Mm-hmm.
for me. So that's how I saw it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that naman. Like I hear that also from others na kahit ibang sport na that's why they're more like accepting because it's like a lifelong dream. So kahit ano na lang basta
Yeah.
ano ko yung dream ko, like yeah, naka-team player mindset na kagad sila from the beginning. And yun, succeed ka naman, like it's a versatile player. Pero I think
Yeah.
you mentioned it also. I wanted to tackle this na it was tough playing in like a against LaSalle and papalaruin ka pag close game or kailangan nila ng
Yeah.
point from the service line or they needed like yeah, needed a nice serve kahit hindi ace talaga. Like how
Yeah.
did you adjust to that naman? Because I don't think there's that many people who were watching in Bacolod. And additionally, like those were the years when volleyball started to gain some traction already in the fan base of Filipinos.
I think consistency is key talaga. Kasi I
Mm-hmm.
knew that was my role. So every time we train, kasi there, like with Coach Tai, we had like the whole morning na puro serve lang na serve. And then we had to like aim at a certain area. So that's what I really focused on talaga. And then made sure na sa team namin, like, I was very competitive in that side, knowing that was the role that he had given me to really step up. So yeah, consistency was key, and I really made sure na I perform like in that
Mm-hmm.
given situation. So I like even in training, I would like visualize na there are like people or it was like during a game or there were like people watching me or like cameras para malaman ko what I would do exactly in the game. So yeah, that
Oh,
really.
okay, okay. It's great. Yeah, that's interesting for yeah for the fans to hear. And yeah, you succeeding in that role was fantastic. Well, I wanted to also ask like yun nga yung ascension of volleyball. Like nagulat ka ba na sisikat siya ng ganun? Sisikat siya ng ganun dito sa Pilipinas. Lalo na nung time na like bago ka pa in college and nag-a-adjust ka pa tas parang sobrang iba yung like pagtaas ng volleyball. I mean, like now siguro you get a feel of it already because it's been like more than 5 years na. So, nagulat ka rin ba in like with how the sport has been popular? Kasi diba ever since basketball lang yan or boxing lang na yung Philippines.
Yeah.
Ganyan.
Well, to be honest, in Bacolod, I would also get like starstruck talaga with whenever the Ateneo team would, because for what do you call it, like the uni games,
Yeah, in
ganon,
Unigame.
uni games.
Mm.
So whenever they visit, and it's also like kind of held here in Bacolod. So whenever they visit, I'd get so starstruck. So for me, I was like already fangirling at that moment, but it also kind of boomed pa like towards yung 77, 78. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just got bigger and then
Mm-mm.
nag-peak talaga siya all of a sudden. And I was like, wow, so kind of grateful to be in that parang part of the volleyball era na
Mm-hmm.
it thrived at that moment now where I was also like playing.
Mhm. Yeah, how do you think they could sustain it though? Kasi siyempre merong mga like kunwari hindi naman sa you're taking offense to them, but like the Ascals, they were popular for like a certain number of years lang. Pero it's hard to sustain it. And even like yung women's football team, like siyempre ngayon like sikat sila dahil mag-World Cup sila this year. Pero it's hard.
Mm.
I don't know if they'll sustain it kasi football's not as interesting as volleyball or basketball to the Filipinos. So yeah, how do you think they could sustain it with their rabid fan base?
I think to have like a good engagement with the audience, like also having to like, which I see naman, like people are spreading volleyball more, like they're it's more accessible now to other places, and then
Mm.
there are people who offer like different programs of volleyball, and also yun nga, yung mga other palabas, yung parang all-star
Mm.
games, ano, na for fun lang, and it's
Mhm.
really parang fun to watch. Not just like
Mhm.
yung mga competitive side na you can actually see yung personal side ng each player, which I think keeps them interested in the
Mhm.
game. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure that ano, took another level higher during the pandemic because everyone was more active on social media with the
Yeah.
fans. Di ba yung mga volleyball players, nagkukumu sila, ganun, everyone.
Oh yeah.
And
Oo.
yeah, then everyone would tune into it, and then the players would also earn because the Kumu has, I don't know how the system works, pero diba
Yeah.
they earn a certain amount of money from it. So yung mga ganong engagements, I think it
Mm.
helps with how volleyball would stay. But I wanted to move forward with your career nga, and yung 78 and 79 you played also for the team. But I want to focus on season 80 since yun nga you sustained the left knee injury, ACL, nung that's why you didn't get to play in season 80. And then in season 81 you played it in your final year, but then with Coach O and like a different nucleus of the team compared to the
Yeah.
previous championship. So
Adjustment.
was yeah, how was that na you felt na you were very down when you got injured obviously, pero did you ever think na babalik ka pa for your fifth year, or did you have thoughts of not coming back, especially at sa whole new nucleus or like whole new teammates na sanay ka na kalaro like earlier in your career?
Of course, like after I got injured, I really wanted to come back kasi like gusto
Mm.
ko babawi. Kasi during season 80, I think that was the year na I was like the captain of beach volley, and
Mm.
I think I was co-captain at first, but then yun nga, like I got injured. So parang, my dreams and
Yeah.
plans, like I was really working hard for that to like fit in that role, but then it was cut short. So
Mm-hmm.
I really was determined to have like a comeback, but it was more of like, oh, will Coach O accept me?
Yeah.
Kasi, kasi syempre like there are a lot of new players, the young players that he can develop, and then there's me who just got back from an injury. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he did see like that hunger in me. So I came back for season 81.
Oh, okay. So ano yung mga like sobrang tough na napagdaanan mo? Kasi like people would say na yung ACL, mas sakit na nga siya physically, pero mas sakit din siya like, I don't know, emotionally or like mentally. Kasi nga, team sport, wala ka doon. Like ikaw nga, sabi mo, captain ka na, mas lumaki na yung role mo. Pero hindi ka nga makakontribute, nanonood ka lang doon. And diba that was the season that Ateneo didn't get to make it to the finals pa. So how difficult was that, and what kept you kept you like inspired to come back for 81?
Yes, it was very difficult because, like I said, I really want like a team sport talaga. And doing rehab alone was so hard because
Mm-hmm.
nobody was there. Like
Mm-hmm.
while they were training, I was doing rehab. So that was
Mm-hmm.
difficult for me. But yeah, from time to time naman, like I visit training and during the games, like I do, nagpupulot ako ng bola just to help.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the best thing that I could do then was like to give them moral support and just be there for them. It was hard
Mm-hmm.
for me kasi yun nga, it sucked na I was like trying to like I felt kasi it was also the year na my sister got into college in. So we were in the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt I had like a big sister, how do you say it, role, not just to
Yeah.
her, but also to everyone. Like feel ko talaga na I was like pulling and pushing everyone na parang, especially sa runs, parang, come on, like that
Yeah,
extra
yeah, yeah.
push. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of sucked na I got injured and I couldn't really fill in that role anymore. But I guess it also worked out season 81 because if I did play no season 80, I wouldn't like I wasn't eligible na to
Mm-hmm.
play for my last championship league. So
Yeah, so at
yes.
least there was like a silver lining to it. Kasi, yeah, nung 80,
Yes.
diba? Like, you don't know kung makakapag-champion. Pero, yeah, focusing on season 81, yung championship nyo, you mentioned na parang nung season 76, mas like, you guys like showed grit and you guys were like used to do or die games. How about in season 81, like with this new bunch of players? How would you describe winning that? Like sila, 'di ba sila Bea, sila Maddie, sila Kat,
Yeah.
and you, 'di ba lahat kayo last year na nun. So how was that for you?
I think it was the same na we had that grit, but the only difference was like it was actually like us playing
Mm-hmm.
na instead of like I mean we were also playing. No, but I was like I was a rookie pa no
Mm-hmm.
season 76. But then no come season 81, it was like our moment na like we were the ones pushing everyone else, like having to fill in that role to like um, put everyone together and climb to be on top. So that was a different experience. And at the same time, like we all worked hard for it. Talaga. Like that was like it was very memorable kasi it wasn't just like I'm sorry. Hello? Am I lagging?
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just like training, but then it was more like mentally, physically, emotionally. Parang we were all in during that season, and I think it made for me it was really memorable because we that time we really formed like a bond with each other. Na it was really strong, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I can commend Coach O for that for giving us that sisterhood. So yeah,
Ano yung main difference? Like, I mean, hindi. Kasi pag main difference, obviously, yung the way Coach O communicates is different from Coach Tai. Pero apart
yeah,
from that, like, what else is very different from having two of them? Because they're both champion coaches. They're
yeah.
both very passionate. Pero for sure, as a player, meron kang parang pang-iba na nakita. So what was that based on your final year?
I think it's more of like the personality of how the team they want to show. Because with Coach Tai, it's more of like happy, like oh, enjoy every point, like parang happy ka with it, parang just to feel light. You have to have fun
Mm.
with what you do. But then with Coach O, it's more of like serious na um respect the game na each point counts na parang give that swag na super in the zone, Medzilla,
Mm.
Bea De Leon vibes na
Yeah.
parang beast moment, ganon, beast
Yeah.
mode. So that was, I think, one of the main difference na I can really say with Coach Tai and with Coach O.
Mm. Yeah, I understand it and like I could see it rin naman as a fan perspective. Pero siyempre, iba yung effect pag ikaw yung nagsabi. Pero yung isa pa is people
Yeah.
would say nga na ikaw yung with most no most championships as an Ateneo Lady Eagle with 3 championships. So ikaw ba,
Yeah.
like, does that mean something for you or wala lang? Like, I mean, people would say it's because of the team ganyan. Pero I don't know, like feeling ko deep inside it means something kasi nga I don't know, ikaw yung player with that like unique honor as of this moment at least.
um, Both. Kasi I know it was like a team effort, but at the same time, I also did work hard for that. Like everything was
Mm-hmm.
like a team effort nga. And but yeah, no first year ko talaga it was really sila Ate Line, Ate Dan, and sila Kiwi, sila Ate Ella, and sila Ate
Mm-hmm.
Ariel, everyone, like all of my seniors. And because of them, I was also able to achieve more. So it
Mm-hmm.
was more of like a timeline of things. It just didn't go from this to this. It was progressive. And um, I think it also helped me get that experience, like
Mm-hmm.
coming from my rookie year as being a champion. it helped me like share my experience and how it helped me. So I also helped like my rookies with that. Kasi I remember also like training with my seniors. Like there were times na they would parang I knew parang there were times na they were teaching me stuff and then sabihin ko na sa sarili ko, oh, it was very effective for them to teach me that way. So that's how I wanted to teach my rookies. So I think that also kind of helped. And going back to being a three-time champion, I guess other than like, I think it was just fate. Cause I don't know, like, why did I get injured the season 80 and then
Mm.
para makalaro ko season 81? Joke.
Mm.
But other than that, it was really hard work. Like, sobrang, kahit sino sa team namin, we really like it was more of a team effort na it wasn't just like the people on court but also everyone who was like a part of it, like from the coaching staff down to yung mga star players, or hindi na nga siya tawag, parang we kind of avoid saying star players, but then
Mm.
it was more of like having roles to fill. So
Mm.
that kahit little task, it really means a lot to the whole team. So yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible na you guys nga had like you solidified your roles kasi I mean obvious naman kung yung mga stars like in any team may star talaga pero yung iba like after the stars kung hindi like solidified yung role mahirap na yung like yung ganun na hindi sila alam kung
Yeah.
ano yung in-expect sa kanila or ano yung dapat nilang gawin like hanggang dito lang sila tapos they don't step over the line kasi role na ng iba yun yung mga ganun like it's
Yeah.
really great that you guys had that for that particular season. But I wanted to also ask about your serving. Like you mentioned it kanina nga na specialist ka for like ilang seasons din yun. Like like ganun ka na ba mag-serve or ganun ka na ba kagaling mag-serve nung bata pa lang and then na-discover lang nung college or nagalingan mo lang through practice nung college kasi it's a very unorthodox pero effective siya and 'di ba meron pang isang game na parang start of the set, ikaw na nagsiserve more than halfway na nung set, ikaw pa rin yung nagsiserve. Like, that rarely happens in volleyball. So, what's the story behind that?
I don't think I'm the best server back in high school. And like, okay, story time. I don't think it didn't actually happen till I was like really in like, kasi, okay, sa kay Coach Tai, may pinapa-target siya na zones na we had to like,
Mm,
and then there was a point na I was like the last, and then palagi ko nag-error, so I had like to run a lot of rounds in the oval. So that kind
okay.
of helped me like work hard to be better, to be a
Mm,
better server. So I think that's how it started. And then I think it's more of like consistency rin. Kasi I know I'm not like the hardest server na powerful, but then I'm more of like consistent with the placement, ganon, and
mm,
just doing it right. Na pag crucial moments, they can count on me on like getting the ball in. So it's more of like being consistent for me.
okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I could see that naman because sometimes when you serve, like, lalo na like sa Lasal, diba? Like for Lasal, for us, like there are times when they do get a lot of aces, but there are games when it costs them also because, yeah, Coach Ramil gets pissed because ang lakas ng serve, ganun masyado lang, like, I think may tinatry sila masyadong i-aim na spot or maybe masyadong yung pectus iba, ganun. So, I get na consistent nga yung ano. But then, how would you say na others should like embrace the role of server specialist because people might think na bakit yun lang gagawin ko ganun ba't di yung iba ba't di na lang ako dun sa iba pero ikaw like you did it at an excellent level, and yeah, people might not like understand it. Pero ikaw, how would you explain it, and how would you tell people to like flourish at the role?
I think for me that was like the most crucial role I've had. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
to compare it to I was like the libero. Parang I was like on the court the whole time. So mainit na ako. Like I'm like
Mm-hmm.
in the zone, and then I have like the momentum. But coming from like the side and like having to serve at a crucial moment, that's like something big. So it's not just a small role for me. So I think um parang it's one of like the underrated roles in the team, and I think people also have to realize na it takes much courage to fulfill that role, kasi not only na um, you commit to like having that role appointed to you, but also having to perform at that crucial moment na parang um, 1/1 ratio na
Mm-hmm.
kailangan you have to make it count at that point. Not like when you're on the court the whole time na parang, of course, as much as possible, you can't like make unnecessary mistakes, but parang you have chances to make bawi. But then for that role, parang you have to be reliable and you have to perform. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because others may not understand it at like a deeper level because they only see like what's on the stat sheet or what's on the highlight reels on IG or whatever, but then they don't know like the deeper side of the sport. And yeah, for sure that's like how some athletes are effective. But yeah, but then for the next part, like this is the last part of the interview. I usually ask like general questions to my guests, and yeah, thank you again, Kim, for joining me. But before we wrap up, like this one question is, you know naman sa NBA bubble, like yun yung time na nag-start yung mga athletes like sa NBA mas maging vocal sa social and political issues. And dito sa Pilipinas, alam mo rin naman na yung mga Pinoy, like mahihayin sila when it comes to those things before they're like whatever happens just happens ganon, or and they're not very vocal, and like even if they have a platform, pero I'm pretty sure you noticed na nung like pandemic or even heading towards the elections, like people were more vocal when it comes to these things. So ikaw as like an athlete with like a platform and the following, like what's your opinion on like athletes being vocal or expressing their opinion on social media and like educating their followers, because alam mo naman like sa Philippines, like, maybe some people aren't as educated lang on whatever is the truth or whatever is happening in terms of social and political issues.
Hmm. I think it's ano nga yung quote na parang how do you say that again? Yung kay Spider-Man, with big comes big responsibilities. How do you say it?
Ah, yung
Wait lang.
ano, yeah, like something
With
great
power, with great
responsibility.
power. Wait lang.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh no, I'm so embarrassed. I forgot. With power comes great responsibility, something like that.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see. Oh yeah, with great power comes great responsibility.
yeah,
So yeah, I think with athletes like us, with like high followers and with big platform, I think um, yun nga, kasi I'm also kind of thinking, like, si Bea Bell, she really
mm,
puts herself out there to make people aware, which is great.
mm,
But it also, there are pros and cons kasi na, yun nga, with the whole issue that kind of happened with, um, being, being like a public eye, ganon, with the whole chocomucho,
mm,
yung nakikita ko lang, like I'm not really I'm not really, how do you say it? Um, like, I don't know the full story of the issue. Basta nakikita ko rin sa social media na parang, yun nga, parang snob daw. But,
Yeah.
um, kasi for me, yun nga, wait, to answer your question first, like, I think it's easy. I think it's helpful rin. Kasi I would do that too. Na
Mm-hmm.
I would quote or requote stuff na would actually help um, educate people or like put in people's um, put the word out there. And for me, that's really awesome because it could help and benefit like not just uh, not because you don't really know who you really um parang how do you say it, yung mga people
Mm-hmm.
na wait people na who follows you. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important rin to know na you have the responsibility na you have a voice that may take effect on people that you don't kind of engage with. So parang
Mm-hmm.
gano'n.
Yeah. Yeah, then with with that's a great answer, guy. And yeah, it's good that you mentioned Bea also, because like I had her on the pod like months before, and yeah, she also talked about like that answer to her the same question, and yeah, maganda rin yung sagot niya to that answer, and I think people did like notice it also when they watched the episode. So yeah, it's incredible that you had a answer like that as well. Pero yeah, for the next question, it's more fun like compared to the serious one in the previous one. If you had the opportunity to have dinner with five people, dead or alive, who would you invite?
Dead or alive?
Mhm.
Hmm. Wait. I should choose wisely. Okay, so number one, I do wanna have dinner with Princess Diana.
Mhm.
Um, who else? Um, maybe okay with my family member because my dad also kind of passed away, so it would be nice to have dinner with him too.
Mhm.
Um, I'm thinking in the Philippines. Um, I kind of wanna have dinner with like presidents to see like their views, like not just here in the Philippines, but also like worldwide. But also I
Mhm.
like having dinners with, sorry, ang dami kong iniisip. Yung mga Miss Universe also, I wanna have dinner with, okay, fine. Like, I wanna have dinner with Katrina Gray. Kasi she's very vocal and very influential for me. Like,
Mhm.
um, wala. Ilan na ba yun? One, two, three. Three pa lang. Okay, maybe you. I want to meet you in person. And
Okay.
who else? And yung isa na lang. Maybe.
Any of the presidents, if you choose them, specifically who?
Oh, I don't want to say. I don't want to be political involved.
Okay.
But like I'm more interested of like the past presidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also kind of want to have dinner with Jose Rizal and
Mhm.
everyone. Parang ganun. Like, I'm more, kasi me as a person, I really like to view things of like different perspective from other people and how especially like historically, like how they would
Mhm.
do things in the past, because it did kind of have like an effect with us here in the present, and I would really like to see their views in that and how they think. Parang ganon.
Yeah, that's great that you were able to mention a lot of people, and yeah,
No,
that's fun that you were
pwede pa
able
ba?
to. Sorry,
Huh?
and what did you say? Sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. It's like, oh,
Oh, okay. No, because people have a tough time sometimes to like even have five, and you have like more than five. So it's fun that you were able to
no,
answer
was
it,
that
even if
more than five?
it's
I think I had a
spontaneous.
hard time. It's like,
I mean, like
um,
Miss Universe, you could have like a lot of Miss Universe, parang ganon. So some people,
yeah,
kasi
that's
they're
why
like,
I was like,
oh, who? Yeah,
so I was thinking of
yeah,
like, okay, presidents. Like, I really do want to have dinner with Princess Diana if I had a chance. And then with
yeah,
Miss Universe, we're in like, oh, Pia
yeah,
was back, Katrina Gray,
yeah,
everyone else, and Celeste, our
yeah.
Miss Philippines, Gloria Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's the first time someone said me also, so that's interesting.
It's like, okay, I'll have dinner with you.
Yeah. Yeah, first time also. So yeah, for the final question naman,
Um,
since you know that I invite people through like social media, through email, and yeah, through those platforms. Since I'm like I want to be in sports media in the future, but I'm still studying. Like, but then who would you suggest? You know, would be a great guest on the pod who has a great story to tell. And yeah, who would you suggest? Like, di naman kailangan volleyball or di naman kailangan like specific
mm,
sport. Basta like any
but,
sport. Like, who do you think would be a great?
hmm, wait. Kasi on top of my mind, it was like Ponggay. Kasi I was like, okay, volleyball related. And sino madaldal mag-interview.
Mhm.
And it, parang siya talaga, ang dami niyang input sa mga
Mhm.
things like this. Who else? Outside of volleyball? Ooh, you know Pauline Lopez,
Yeah. So, no?
friend.
Yeah.
She
Taekwondo,
pro
right?
taekwondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, okay, outside of volleyball, so there's
Hmm.
taekwondo, football. So I'm gonna mention a lot of names again. So I'm just gonna stick to Pauline for now.
It's fine. That's fine. A lot of some of my guests mention a lot because whoever they think has an
Yeah.
interesting story, they just like rattle it off. So yeah, hopefully, because I talked to like yeah Pong guy already before, but baka busy
Oh
pa ganyan. We
yeah.
haven't set a sked yet, but yeah, I've tried to guest also Pauline before, but I think she was busy that time. Like
Oh
they're
yeah. She's
both
always
Pauline nga
busy.
pala. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Janos
both
Cam Rodriguez also football.
football. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
she's from
And,
Ateneo, and I see her
yeah.
stories a lot. And then I'm like, oh
Oh,
wow, good for you, good for the
yeah,
team. Let's go Team Philippines.
yeah,
Because she shares
yeah,
a lot right in her story, so that's really inspiring.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, thank you again, Kim, for joining me here on the DVD show, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I enjoyed and I learned more about you because yeah, I watched you on the court, pero kaya mas trip ko yung podcasts because you learn more about the people and they're not
Yeah,
like athletes lang ganun, and they have
she's with yeah.
yeah they have other stuff also. So do you have any final message before you go?
Um, thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys continue to support not just volleyball, the Philippine volleyball, but also all the sports that we have here in the Philippines, like also football, which is kind of
Mhm.
booming too. Let's go World
Mhm.
Cup, and yeah, that's all. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So before you go, is it okay if we take a picture?
Okay, wait.
Okay,
I'll
I'll
just
take it. I'll take it from here. One, two, three. Okay, thank you again, Kim, for
Yay.
joining me on the pod. And yeah, see you
Thank you.
soon. Stay safe.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.